Want to know the secrets your favorite creators use to get the perfect pro-sounding podcast voice? Well, let me show you. The first thing you need to think about is where you're going to record your podcast. Choose a space that's furthest away from any outside noises like traffic, or birds, or inside noises like a fridge or an air conditioner. Try to prevent as much reverb or echo as you can in the space by using materials that can absorb sound, like curtains, blankets, carpets, or acoustic panels on your walls and ceiling. Spending a bit of time on this in the beginning will give you the best chance at a nice, clean recording, an important step in achieving a pro sound. The mic you choose plays a big part in the clarity and richness of a pro-sounding podcast voice. Dynamic microphones like this pod mic or a Procaster are great because they're designed for speech and pick up less background noise or spill from other mics. This is especially handy if you have more than one voice on your podcast. Condenser mics like the NT1 are more sensitive and are great for capturing detail, so are more suited to a well-sound treated room. Where you place your microphone and how you use it are also key when it comes to achieving a pro-sounding podcast voice. The first thing you need to look at is the type of microphone you're using, and whether it's an end address mic, where the capsule is facing out towards the end of the mic, like a pod mic, or a side address mic, where the capsule is facing out from the side like an NT1. If your voice is not directed towards the mic capsule, it will sound distant and echoey, just like that. So test this out first to make sure you're using your mic correctly. The next thing to think about is distance. To get a nice clean sound, you'll want to be 4 to 6 inches away from a dynamic mic, or about 4 to 8 inches away from a condenser mic. Anything further than this will again end up sounding like you're standing far away from the mic. Some pro podcasters will take advantage of the proximity effect by moving closer to the mic to enhance the warmth of the low-end frequencies. But this takes a bit of practice to avoid the plosives or popping on certain words. To combat plosives more in general, try speaking into the microphone on a slight angle to prevent the air from hitting the capsule front on. You can also use a pop filter. Pop filters come in many different styles, from a custom fitting shield like this one right here to a circular shaped one placed in front of the microphone. If you have guests on your show, taking the time to guide them through some of these techniques will also ensure consistent sound across the recording. Something that often gets overlooked when producing a podcast is setting good levels and maintaining them throughout a recording. If levels are recorded too low, you may introduce background noise when you're trying to lift them later on in post-production. If they're too high, you could end up clipping your audio, making it unusable altogether. Dropout or unexpected background sounds can also happen during recording, again, making parts of your recording unusable. Take the time to set the gain on each channel, including your guest mics and even phone calls or any other sounds you plan to have in your show, so that there's no unexpected jumps or drops in level. As always, when setting levels, rehearse as if it were the real thing, so that the performance doesn't take you by surprise. Also remember to make sure you or a producer are monitoring throughout the entire recording to maintain good levels and listen out for any issues. Recommend to your guests to wear headphones as well, so that they can hear how they sound in the recording. The subtle use of EQ, compression, and other processing is the final aspect that sets pro-sounding podcasts apart from others, and you don't have to be an audio engineer to understand it. While all these tools can be applied later in post-production with a DAW, an interface like a Rodecaster console allows you to process your sound at the time of recording, giving you the ability to have that pro sound if you want to broadcast live or publish your show very soon after recording. The most common tool to add that professional shine to your podcast is an equalizer, otherwise known as an EQ. EQ is used to both reduce or remove any unwanted frequencies in your sound and boost or enhance frequencies that give the voice more clarity, richness, and warmth. For example, you might want to boost the voice subtly at around 1 kHz to add more crispness and clarity. You may also need to slightly reduce some of the low-mid frequencies, around 400 Hz, to make the sound less boxy. Finally, you might want to gently boost the lower frequencies, around 120 Hz, to give the sound more warmth, particularly if the voice you're recording lacks a bit of bass to begin with. Obviously, these settings will differ each time you record, depending on the voice, microphone, and technique being used. The second most common tool used in pro podcasts is compression. Compression is a tool that helps control the dynamics so that volume levels are more even and consistent throughout a recording. It brings down loud jumps and brings up softer words or phrases so that everything can be heard clearly. While the use of EQ and compression can sometimes be enough to give you that pro podcast sound, there are many more processing tools that can aid in either correcting issues with your sound or enhancing it further. These may include a de-esser, which is used to reduce harsh S, T, and Ch sounds in your voice. A noise gate, which is used to reduce background noise in between words and phrases. And even exciters, which use harmonics to add more presence to your sound. Have a play with these tools to see what works for you. Remember that a Rodecaster console like this one right here has some easy-to-use processing presets, which incorporates a lot of what I've just spoken about in a way that allows you to dial in that pro sound at the click of a button. Well, that's it, guys. I hope this helps you achieve the perfect pro-sounding podcast voice. Feel free to leave any questions you may have for us in the comments below, and we'll see you in the podcast charts. Oh, I've just realized this cup's probably going to be in the bloopers now, and I'm going to lose all my street cred. Like I had any anyway.